Welcome to Yoga with Vivian. Looking forward to our time together. And apart from our very traditional moves we are incorporating, going to pay special attention to our thighs today, which is going to feel wonderful. So we're going to start in our standing position in our mountain pose with our feet hip width apart. So a little bit of a variation. We're going to take our arms nice and wide, filling up the room, taking our three-part breath in through our abdomen, up into our chest and into our throat, and exhaling. Allowing the diaphragm to fill the lungs and close the lungs, stimulating those adrenal glands. And we'll do one more three-part breath, and also helps center our focus for our time of exercise together. On our next inhale, we're going to add in our arms, inhaling up and exhaling down, inhaling up, exhaling down, inhaling up and down, and two more. Bring the abdomen in, and last one, and hands coming back down our side. Roll the shoulders back away from the ears. We're going to switch our weight from side to side, and we're going to point our toes. We can bring our hands onto our waist, and with a little power up, point the toe, engage the legs, stretching out those ankles, bring the abdomen in, tuck the tailbone underneath, and moving side to side, nice strong legs. Again, we are pointing the toes and engaging and powering through. And the heart rate is getting up with some gentle movement. And we're breathing for 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1, and back to center. Keep the legs nice and wide, inhaling up, and a nice side flexion over to the right side of the body. Keep the long arms nice and long, extending the elbows, opening up the underarm, bring the abdomen through and opening up the left side of the body. We're adding distance between the ribs and the hip bone for 5 and 4. Good time. Lift up the kneecaps. And 3 and 2 and 1, and center. Relax the knees and find your breath. And then over to the left, reaching with the right side of the body, opening it up, lengthening. Bring those kneecaps up, engaging the thighs for 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1, and center. And we're going to move to moonflower. So bring the arms wide of the body, bend the elbows, hands are straight up, and we can just walk those feet out, drop the knees, tuck the tailbone underneath. This is our moonflower stance, and we inhale up and we exhale down. As you reach up, make yourself as tall as you can and expand the ribs, opening up the abdomen and reaching, taking that body nice and tall and long. Adding our length makes us look lithe. And 5 more. And 4 more. And 3 more. Back is nice and straight. And 2 more. And last one, and come to pose. So tailbone is underneath, back is nice and flat. Our heart rate is up. That's a little bit of cardio for us. Let's hold in the pose. Let the heart rate come down. On the inhale, relax the pelvic floor. Engage the pelvic floor and exhale for 5. This is a standing position, a pose. Exhale for 4, pelvic floor is engaged for 3, and engaged for 2, and engaged for 1, and coming out. Walk the feet in, and walking for 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Let's move to chair. Inhale, exhale to chair. Feet are together, knees are together. So move to the side, weight of the hips on my heels, reaching with those hands, gazes up between the hands, squeeze the buttocks, feet and knees together, and reaching and squeezing. Beautiful posture. Shoulders are away from the ears for 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1, and come up out of the pose. Relax the hands down the side. Step back to moonflower. Take yourself wide. Toes are out. Drop the knees. Arms are in position, and moonflower flow. Squeeze the buttocks. Reaching, squeezing those buttocks. And 3 more. And 2 more. And last one. And pose. Knees over the toes, heart rate is up. Our upper arms are parallel with the floor. Tailbone is underneath. On the inhale, relax the pelvic floor. Engage the pelvic floor and exhale for 7 and 6. Pelvic floor is engaged for 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1, and release the pose. Coming up, walk the feet in. Inhale, bringing the hands up into a back extension, reaching behind so the feet and knees are together. A little bend through our back, gazes to the ceiling for 5 and 4, and elbows are aligned with the ears, and 3 and 2 and 1 as we straighten the body. Inhale and drop to chair. And holding in chair for 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1, and back up to back extension. So reaching, opening up the front of the body, lift up those kneecaps, and finding your breath for 3 and 2 and 1, and straightening and walking it out. Walking for 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. And finding our breath here for 3 and 2 and 1. We're moving back to chair. We're doing the chair flow with when we'll be on our toes. So we're in good position. Feet, knees are together. Inhale. Drop to chair. Arms are horizontal. We're onto the balls of our feet. And hold the pose. Squeeze the buttocks. Bring the abdomen in. For 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1, and out. Rolling the shoulders back. Take a nice 3-part breath here. And exhaling. And another inhale, one more chair on the balls of our feet, arms are horizontal. And hold the pose, balanced pose. 4, 5, and 4. Squeeze the buttocks. And 3, and 2. You can do it. Holding the pose. I'm counting very, very slow. And 1. And let's come up, swan dive, forward fold. Take your time. We're opening up that low back. Bring your upper body down. Bring the hands into ragdoll. And using your elbows leading through with the figure 8. 4, 3, and 2, and 1. And coming to down dog, soften the knees, take the hands wide onto the mat, stepping back with the toes, nice and wide, push those hips up, legs are nice and warm. Take your gaze up to the abdomen, or at least between the thighs, and keep those hips nice and high and feel the strength through our upper body that we've been developing. And breathing here and slowing down your breath. For 3, and 2, and 1. And coming down onto the mat for down dog, or sorry, cat cow. Bend the knees, and we're into count. We're in down dog, and moving to. So top of the feet are on the mat. Hands are below the shoulders, knees in line with the hips. And we exhale for cat, inhale for cow. Really opening up the ribs. Wonderful exercise on the low back. We do have some upper body involved. And we move with our breath here. Later, we'll be moving from down dog to the lunge and bringing our leg through. And one of the tips for that is to remember how your back feels when you're in cat, how you have that rounded arch in the back. And so I'll reference that when we get there. Just remember what it feels like now, that rounded cat back. And 3 more. And 2 more. Nice and purposeful. And last one. And coming to child's pose. Take the knees wide, bring the feet together, bring your weight of your hips down onto the feet, and then we're going to thread through the right arm and take the left arm with a nice sweep down the length of your body so that your left hand is on your left buttocks. So our head is on the right temple. We are on our right shoulder. Our left hand is on our left buttocks. And our lower body in child's pose. And this is a nice variation, stretching out the shoulder. 4, 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Lift the left hand up, sweeping onto the mat, and then moving on to the other side. So thread the left side through, and then take that right arm, sweeping it down the length of the body and resting it on the buttocks. And allowing the abdomen to relax into the floor. And feel that wonderful clearance through the hips. 4, 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Sweep the arm back to cat-cow position. We are going to do stationary spinal balance with the bird dog pose, focusing on the pelvic floor. So inhale and relax the pelvic floor. Left leg is up, reaching with the right. We're working across the body. Engage the pelvic floor and exhale 4, 5. Exhale 4, 4. Exhaling 4, 3. Reach with that hand and leg. Point the toe, point the fingers, lengthening the body. 4, 3. And 2. Pelvic floor is engaged. 4, 1. You feel your abdominal core involved in that. Inhale and relax. Engage and reach. Point the fingers, point the toe, lengthen the body. 4, 5. Pelvic floor is engaged. 4, 4. And 3. And 2. And 1. And coming back to down dog. Up onto the balls of our feet, getting our hips nice and high. Our heart rate should be nice and in a nice relax. We've done some cardio and now some nice poses and some strengthening. Here we are in down dog. We're going to get going again. Bring the right hand through to the left foot and tuck your face under. Your face is nestled into your underarm on the left side. We're in down dog. Legs are nice and straight. 4, 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Come back to center. Make sure you're nice and square. And then left hand, right foot. And tuck yourself underneath. 4, 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. And back to center. We are moving to crescent lunge, which is a standing lunge. From down dog. Round, shift your weight over your hands, round your back like you did in cat, and bring the right foot through. We're on the ball of the left foot. Oops, and coming all the way up. So with that rounded back, we give ourselves clearance to bring the knee through. So we are in crescent lunge. Right foot is flat. We're on the ball of the left foot. Straighten that foot up and get that heel nice and high. And then adjust your right leg so that your hips are down and really lengthen through the left leg. And breathing, shoulders are away from the ears. And we're holding here for another count of 3, and then we'll be adding some variations. For 3, and 2, and 1. Bring hands to heart. For 3, and 2, and 1. Add the twist over to the right side of the body. Palms are together. Put a little bit of pressure. We're facing the right. 4, 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1, and center. 4, 3, and 2, and 1. Shifting to goalpost arms and taking your weight back. So we're taking some of the weight off the right and pushing back onto the left foot. This is where we talked about we're doing some thigh work today. Goalpost arms, so we've shifted our weight back. 4, 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Traditional arms, shift your weight back to center. 4, 3, and 2, and 1. Now take your chest over the thigh on the right side and reach. 4, 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Back to neutral. 4, 3, and 2, and 1. Step up to mountain pose. Walk it out. 4, 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Swan dive. Forward fold. Exhaling down. 4, 3, and 2, and 1, and down dog. Push those hips nice and high. Lots of strength through the arms. 4, 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Moving to crescent lunge. Shift your weight forward. Round out the back. Keep the chest up. And coming all the way up to crescent lunge. Left foot is forward. We're on the ball of the right foot. Straighten that foot and then adjust the left leg so you're maximizing the stretch. And we're working through this little series we did on the other side. So starting here. 4, 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Hands to heart. 4, 3, and 2, and 1. Adding in the twist. Over to the left. 4, 5, and 4. Put some pressure on those palms. And 3, and 2, and 1. And center, counting down. 4, 3, and 2, and 1. Goalpost arm, so we shift our weight to that back leg. And I'm going to adjust and keep that foot nice and tall. 4, 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. And come back to center and reaching. 4, 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Taking my chest over that knee. My thigh is very aware of what I'm doing. For 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. And you can do it. 4, 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. And step up and walk it out. 4, 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Coming to a nice stationary pose now where we're working on some balance. We're doing dancer pose. Let's start with our right leg being the base. We are bringing the left foot up as we reach forward with that right hand, finding somewhere to fix our gaze. Bring the abdomen in and dancer pose. You can grab your foot with the hand on the left side or just leave it where it is and focus your gaze. And breathing. 4, 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. And slowly return. Put both hands on the hips. Do a little hip circle before we move on to the other side. Make sure the low back is feeling good. Change directions. 4, 3, and 2, and 1. And dancer pose on the other side. Left leg is our base. Focus on the gaze and the breathing, staying in pose. Beautiful balance. Hand can be on the foot. Four, five, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1, and return and walk it out. 4, 3, and 2, and 1. And we're actually going to come down onto the mat now, where we'll be staying for the rest of our practice. We're going to take our feet wide, and we're going to come down in squat. So down, slowly, slowly, slowly. As you get closer, come onto the balls of the feet so that you can find your way. Once you're there, transfer your weight to your heels, bring your hands to heart, and then lift up the toes. Beautiful. So here we are in squat. Our hands are together. They are resting on the knees. Toes are off the ground. 4, 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. And we're going to come down onto our mat. I bring my hands onto the mat behind my hips. Bring my feet nice and tall into staff position. Toes are up to the ceiling. Put some pressure on the palms, engaging the chest. 4, 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. We're going to come to happy baby. So I'm going to bring my hips forward, coming onto my toes. Hands are on the back of my thighs. I roll onto my back, grab my feet, take them wide on my body, and I'm going to rock back and forth. My knees are bent, and I'm rocking back and forth in happy baby and encouraging the thighs and the knees to get nice and close to the chest wall and keeping the low back on the mat. And happy baby. 4, 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, 1. Bringing the feet back to the mat. Adding in a nice supine twist. So my arms are horizontal on the mat. I'm going to keep my knees together and take them over to the right side of my body. So I'm laying down, I'm on the right side of my body. My shoulder blades are on the mat and both knees are bent, and getting a nice twist and stretch through my obliques through the left side. 4, 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. And coming back to center, I'm rolling my feet so they're flat, and we're going to do some inner thigh stretching and strengthening. So feet are together. I'm going to roll them to my feet to the outside and allow my knees to come wide, and then I'm in and out. As I bring them in, squeeze the thighs and bring the abdomen in. Take them wide and squeeze. Squeeze in the up position. Squeeze, squeeze the buttocks. Bring the abdomen in and squeeze and squeeze. Abdomen is in and squeezing. Low back is on the mat and squeeze. You can really feel it when the low back is on the mat and engaged as you squeeze the thighs and the buttocks coming in. And we'll do 3 more. And squeeze, and 2 more. And last one. And then supine twist over to the left side. Again, keep the shoulder blades on the mat. Gaze is up toward the ceiling. 4, 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Roll the feet back, and we'll return to the inner thigh stretch and strengthen. So low back is on the mat, and squeeze as the knees come up. And squeeze the buttock, squeeze. And however much you squeeze, and try not to let momentum allow the legs to come too wide, will determine how you feel tomorrow and Monday. And 3 more. And 2 more. And last one. And knees to chest. Hands come on the back of the thighs. And rocking back and forth, relaxing the low back. For 3, and 2, and 1. Still staying in this position. Take your hands wide. Knees are bent. Knees are together and feet are together. Dip the right knees to the ground and up. Knees to the ground and up. This is a belly twist. Knees to the ground and up. So the right hip is staying on the mat. The left hip is coming off as we bring our knees over to the floor. They don't need to touch, and back up. And maintain the shoulder blades on the mat. Working our abdominal core, specifically the obliques. And 3 more. Nice little twist. And 2 more. And last one. Back to center, make sure you're square, and then right over to the left side. And again, taking your time. You'll know your own speed, whether you're using momentum or the core and oblique muscles to do the work, and hips as well. And we'll do 3 more. And 2 more. And last one. And take the legs into corpse. We're laying down, sweep the hands down our side, pointing the toes, pointing the ankles, moving them in a clockwise and then counterclockwise. For 3, and 2, and 1, and then changing direction. For 3, and 2, and 1. And we're going to come up to seated staff, whether you use your elbows, your hands, put your hands on your thighs and use your strength you've been developing to come up, and moving to a nice straddle. Good work. Some great abdominal work there. So I have my, move back a bit. My toes are up toward the ceiling. I'm in a nice seated straddle. My shoulders are away from my ears. My tailbone is on the ground, tucked underneath, so my pelvis is tilted. And I'm breathing. Take the left hand over to the right foot. Take the right hand wide and bring the nose down. 4, 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1, and center. Using our sinking breath, walking the hands out, bringing the chest closer to the floor. Try to keep the chin up. It helps us avoid rounding out our back too much. Where we want it rounded out, this one we don't. And reaching toes are to the ceiling, and hold when you find the perfect stretch. 4, 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Hands up. Over to the other side. Bring the nose down. 4, 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1, and coming up. We're going to end with a heart opener. So we are in seated straddle. We're going to bring our hands behind our hips and push the chest out, open up the gaze, open up the throat. The collarbone is exposed. There are pressure on your hands, so your arms are engaged, and push that chest and then roll the hips forward, really opening up the front of the body. Four, 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Relax the arms and then bring the head forward. There's a lot going on with our neck there. We certainly don't want to overdo it. We're going to move to cross-legged. Take a nice 3-part breath, hands around the knees. Shoulders are away from the ears. Let's take our gaze over our right shoulder. I'm just stretching out the left side of the neck. 4, 3, and 2, and 1, and center, and then over to the left. 4, 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1, and center. I'm going to bring my hands to heart, put some pressure on the palms. 3-part breath. And coming to a very relaxed position. And namaste. Thank you.